Let me go ahead and share to my groups. I feel like I should have some music playing in the background, but I know that if I do, then Facebook um, will block it. So I'm not going to do that. Share to group number one. Share to group number two. And there I go. All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, Cara, how are you? We're going to go ahead and get started, y'all. This is a super Sunday talk, which means that I'm streaming from my couch. We're going to be comfortable doing this. And this is girl talk a little bit. And of course, I have some things that have been on my mind to share with y'all. So get comfortable, get out a pen and a pad, make sure that you are taking notes. And if you are here, tell me that you're here. Tell me where you're from so that I won't be talking to myself. I always love to see who is in the comments, and you never know. I might be just dropping a gift for somebody that's in the comment section. So, or who's joining me live on this call or joining me even on the repeat. So if you are here, please go ahead and say here, give me a heart or give me a number one to let me know that you're here and let me know where you're coming from. Yeah, because I'm always interested in seeing how far this is reaching. And I know there might be a slight delay, and let me pull out my notes because I find that helpful. So once again, for you guys that might be new to me, um, my name is Aaliyah McDaniel, and I'm a lot of things, but the most important thing is that I am a woman on this journey, and I'm a woman, I'm a Black woman, and I'm called to lead and liberate other Black women. And when I say lead and liberate other Black women, I mean in my professional life, that's what I do, but also on the spiritual level, I'm here to help us to break free of the chains that bind us, help us to become truly liberated in our souls and in our hearts. And I do that by teaching you all and guiding you all how to love yourselves and what does really loving yourself mean. So, these past few days, I know that all of us have been going through a variety of emotions. Give me on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like this is a block party, to 10 being I'm really stressed out beyond anything I have imagined. Where would you say that you are on your stress or joy level with this COVID-19 out? What's your stress level right now? On a scale of 1 to 10. I will say that mine has been all over the place. I have noticed that my feelings really have been following almost a grief cycle. And I don't mean a grief cycle in terms of the linear stages of grief, the 5 stages: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But instead, like grief, my feelings have been all over the place. My feelings have, some days have been extremely stressed out, and some days it is in complete denial that anything is even happening in the world. Some days I feel a complete sense of acceptance, and in other days I'm trying to, make negotiations and bargains with my ancestors about how they can fix this and make it better. So I want to first let you guys know that whatever you're feeling right now, wherever you are on that spectrum of emotions, that all of those things are normal and they are valid. One of the things I've also had to push myself to do, and I really implore you guys to do, is to not force yourself to feel a certain kind of way, especially when, especially as Black women, and especially as people that are in charge of others and in charge of um, our families and in charge of our homes and in charge of our jobs. We sometimes feel this need to be the superhero. We sometimes feel this need to be to carry all of the weight and put on this positive face all of the time. And we sometimes are taught that, if you have true faith or if you have whatever, then you shouldn't be afraid. And, your signs of fear and being scared is a sign of weakness or a lack of faith. But I want to let you guys know, first of all, that everything that you're feeling is valid, and everything that you're feeling means that you're human. And what I also want to push you guys to do, because it took me a while to say anything about it. If you've noticed, I have not said any postings. I have not really spoken too much on it because I wanted to first honor my feelings. I wanted to first be clear about what I'm feeling, and I wanted to notice the feelings. And I did not want to fall into that trap of I'm supposed to be this leader, or I'm supposed to be in charge of all of these people, and therefore I have to put on a pretty face and I have to kind of manipulate my feelings and pretend that happy, or pretend that everything is okay, or have this false sense of feeling because I feel like that's what I'm supposed to. And and I also wanted to be sure that I wasn't judging my feelings. And so I spent some time just trying to just really get clear and to get silent about and just to simply notice what are all of the feelings that that I am feeling, because I know that it's a healthy thing for me to simply to notice and not judge and not try to manipulate my feelings. And one other thing about me, if you guys know me in real life, you will know that when it comes time to crisis, I'm the take charge, go spring into action kind of person. I am truly an Olivia Pope in that sense. I have a horrible flight anxiety. And one time I was on a plane and the plane was really, 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 really bumpy. And y'all, I don't even like take off and descent normally. So during this time, we were experiencing some really bad turbulence. And all of a sudden, my fear went away, and my fear just jumped into this hyper. Let me help everybody on the plane and make sure everybody's okay. Let me make sure everybody's calm, and trying to teach them what they can do to deal with their fear. And that's a way sometimes that I get clarity, and that's the way that I take control and get some semblance of power and control in situations. And so I had to really notice myself and notice that my first inclination when this pandemic hit, when it hit in the United States, I should say, was to try to solve everything and to fix everything and to come up with solutions, to come up with plans and do all of those kinds of things. And I needed to just really take a seat back and take a moment to gather my feelings and to notice my feelings. And after about a week of this, I've noticed four things that I wanted to share with you guys, because there's all these conspiracy theories that are floating around about what is going on with COVID-19. We have our government that is telling us one message that we honestly can't even trust. We have, all of these different spiritual leaders that are coming out and trying to tell us what to do. And I feel like I wanted to share what was on my heart, and not just what my own thoughts are about the situation, but really what, as I've leaned into speaking to my ancestors and leaned into my spiritual spaces, what has become clearer to me about why we are experiencing what we're experiencing and what exactly is the nature of what we're experiencing. The first thing that came to me was that in life is all balance. In life, there is nothing but balance. There's always balance in nature, and there's balance in the world. There's balance in our relationships. There's balance in all things. And whenever we are in a world without balance, whenever there's a lack of balance in nature, and we have one extreme or the other, the world and the universe, spiritually and physically, will always return us back to center. And sometimes when we're so far skewed to one way, the left or the right or up or down, that returning to the center is going to feel violent, and it's going to feel like it's by force. And we know that for a long time that the way that we've been living in this world is not sustainable. It's not sustainable for us to live in a world where we have such great economic disparities. It's not sustainable to live in a world where we're continually depleting resources and depleting resources and having pollution and corrupting the planet. There's just no way for us to sustain ourselves that way. And instead of there being some great apocalypse or, a meteor hitting the planet like how Hollywood movies will tell us, instead, nature always seeks to have balance. And one of the ways we do that is by virus and by disease. What I'm not saying is that the people who are suffering during this pandemic, I'm not saying that they are responsible or that they have done something personally to cause for them to lose their lives or to lose their livelihoods or to lose, power and control in this situation. But unfortunately, because of the things that humans have done to this planet, that we're experiencing this restoration and this returning to center. In that returning to center and returning to balance, I realized that what this epidemic is also teaching us is asking us to really go within and to figure out where are the places in our own lives that are out of balance. Where are the places in our own lives where we have gone to one extreme or the other and that we don't have balance. I know for me, as I was coping with COVID-19 and the closure of my schools, the first few days were frantic. The first few days were just, it felt like even more activity than usual. It felt like this going into hyper gear of trying to solve and to fix. And it's just a lot of activity. And after that, I realized that this is how I've been spending my life most of the times. Most of the time, my life is in doing, three different things: working my 9 to 5, working my 5 to 10, working my family, working, my hobbies and my interests, and doing all of these things. And that as a result of doing, so many things were unbalanced in my own life. And after those first few days, I went into this deep, deep, deep sleep. I was tired, and not just physically tired, but soul tired. And it just really helped me to realize that our lives are so full of distraction. And a lot of times these distractions are for good reason and they're for a good cause. Therefore, doing the right thing or following our calling or following our mission. But we can go so far into one extreme that when it comes time to have balance, that it feels like a void, it feels like a loss, it feels scary, it feels violent. And so I want to ask you guys to really take inventory during this time. And I really am feeling that this time is causing us to ask, where are the places in your life where you have distraction? Where are the places in your life where you are unclear about who you are? Who are you without all of the busyness? Who are you without all of the jobs? Who are you without all of the roles in the title? Who are you without, this external definition of who you are as a citizen or as whatever? This time is also asking us to ask yourself, what is it that you stand for? What is truly important to you? When the shit hits the fan, when everything that you know and all order or all familiarity is taken away, who are you and what is truly important? And it's also asking us to ask ourselves, what's missing in your life? What had been missing in your life? As you have this new time that you hadn't experienced before, and this abundance of time that you hadn't experienced before, what is it that's been missing that hadn't been there that you need to restore and get back into balance? So those are some of the questions I've been asking myself, and those are some of the questions I implore you to ask yourself. The third thing that, the Rona is teaching me is, and I say the Rona intentionally because I love my people, and I love the fact that I wouldn't even call it making a joke, because, we do find humor, and that's, Black people, we find humor in things just to keep from crying a lot of times. But I think that also calling the name the Rona, and I got this from one of my spiritual leaders that I follow, is a way for us to take the power away from the coronavirus, COVID-19. When we diminish it in name, in a sense, it's like diminishing it in power, and that's why we jokingly call it the Rona, because we realize that who we are is beyond what is happening to us in the moment. And so the third thing that the Rona has taught me is that there is deep peace in gratitude, and there is deep peace in meditation. Oftentimes, when we think about meditation, we think about the Eastern practice, and I'm sure it's probably even more ancient than Eastern religions or Eastern philosophies like Buddhism, etc. That meditation isn't just sitting and trying to distance yourself from the world or distance yourself from distractions. Meditation isn't just about ignoring and forgetting and trying to block out all things. I feel that when we approach meditation in that kind of way, we end up, meditation feels like it's something that's hard. It feels like it's a chore. It feels like something impossible to do, and it becomes something that we feel like we need to defeat in some kind of way or control. Really, what meditation is simply a noticing and a knowing of the now. Meditation is getting clear and becoming fully present in the now. And our people have always, and I say our people, I'm talking about people of the African diaspora, have always had meditation as not just something that we do separate in our religious lives, but in the ways that we commune and in the ways that we gather, in the ways that we have fellowship with each other. And we have meditation through dance, and we have meditation through music, because it's in dance and it's in music where we lose ourselves. It's in dance and music where we become one with the beat, and we become one with the presence, and we become one with the spirit, and we become one with each other. It's no secret. It's no mistake, or just no, not just happenstance, that when you go to Black churches, that the reason why, praise and worship takes sometimes the longest, and the reason why it's the part of the service that we crave the most, is because that's the time where we're literally able to just let everything melt away, and it's a time where we're able to become at one with the Spirit and at one with now. I think it's no accident that DJ D Nice's quarantine party was the biggest thing on Facebook last night with over 100,000 viewers. And it was simply because that who we are as a people is that we are united by the spirit of the drum. We are united by the spirit of the beat. And we are united in this meditative space where we are in the now and where we're noticing the now. And so I also invite you that as you're thinking about how do you become at peace and how do you accept what is going on right now, is to go into that practice of meditation. And meditation with music, and meditation with moving your body, meditation with the things that allow you to simply be in the now. That is meditation. And the last lesson that I have gotten from the Rona is in really that this is a time for us to connect with our spirits and to connect with our ancestors. Y'all, our people are calling us home, both figuratively and literally. Our people are calling us home in a spiritual sense because they're sitting us down and asking us to remember who we are, remember where we came from. It's calling us home in the ways that we're recalling our old folks' wisdom and our old folks' remedies of prayer and cleansing our houses and cleansing our homes, both physically and spiritually. It's no accident also that the churches have been closed, because it's really pushing those people, especially that are coming from a Christian background, to go within their spirits and within their souls and within their roots, to have communion with each other and to have communion with God and to have communion with our ancestors. So again, I don't know when this is going to be over. I don't know how long this is going to last, but what I do know is that everything is going to be okay, and that everything is actually going to be even better when we come out on the other sides. If we love ourselves, if we live in this moment, and if we embrace those lessons. So I hope that you have taken away something that has been beneficial for you. If you are just now joining, I invite you to go back and listen to the replay with the 4 lessons that I've shared about what the Rona is teaching us. And then finally, I invite you to join my mailing list, because in the next few days, I'm going to be sending out a list of spiritual tools and resources that you can use to also deepen your journey during this time. Thank you guys so much for joining. Share this with whoever that you have found that you think that would find this beneficial. Go back and watch the replay. Hit me up in the comments and let me know what you're taking away from it. And I just appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your Sunday with me. Love you guys. Bye.